Yay, Susan's in.
Yay.
Says, how are you, Mr. Amish?
Alright, I didn't get the starting soon screen. There it is. Alright, Sparky's in the house here. I don't think you can see me yet. It's 2 minutes to go. Here, let me do this. Alright, well, if this thing works before that, let me try this here. Alright, so this thing works before it works, which I was not allowed to do before because this is a scheduled stream via Streamlabs, and I'm looking down to see what's going on here. There's Sparky in the house. I'm on a time delay, so I think if I look up at the camera right there, I'm asking my wife, I'm going to put my hands, I'm going to make my hands like a cross right in front of my face. Tell me when that happens if I am looking right at the camera.
Across.
Got it? Am I looking at the camera now?
Yeah.
Alright, because it's such a little camera, I can't really tell what it is. Sparky's in the house. Welcome everyone, especially my unshunned. I tried to go live before live for my unshunned over on Patreon. I think everything went wrong there. I'm not Hope. I can't be Hope. Let's not say that I'm Hope. I'm hoping that somehow that recorded and I can put that link up for my unshunned over on Patreon. We have a new unshunned today, so that gets me up to 14. I am not yet viral, but now we've got a stealth group of 14. What I wanted to do was include my unshunned in my asshole message to Facebook Live, telling them that I'm going Facebook Live, to tell them that I am not going Facebook Live and they got to go over to YouTube. And if they wound up going on my Patreon with my unshunned, they could see me make a dick out of them over there where they're not supposed to be. But and Sparky flew through, so that's pretty badass. So she hasn't been in these for a while. I changed the lighting here a little bit, a little more lighting, which I think makes her happy. And she's pretty much, if I say an exact thing, she won't do it. So I said there's no point in putting her microphone here because she never goes on it any more than I brought her over. Then she went on it just to make a dick out of me. So here we go. Welcome to, I believe it is season 2, episode 4, streaming live from my living room. It is Saturday, April 17th. I had a fun, silly thing that I was going to do that I will save for another time. But if I do it now, it's going to spook Sparky. See, I was going to have this curtain up behind me and pretend like I was outside and say, boy, it seemed like it was going to be nice out tonight, but it's a little cold, let's go in, and then take this down, and then we'd come in the house like this. But now Sparky's here going, that's the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard. So lots of shit to talk about tonight. Hopefully I'll remember, because I don't have my notes. I have too many things going on here. I started to hurt my own brain trying to figure out how to set up a unlisted YouTube pre-scheduled stream for my unshunned over on Patreon, so they could watch me make a dick out of Facebook people. And I was on my own Patreon, and it said we were waiting for me. And if that don't fuck your mind up, nothing will, that we're waiting for me. So here we go. My cheater notes are over here. Also, while I'm all over the place here, my wife found a whole pack of like at least 50 of these bumper stickers that I cartooned. They are 2020, fuck you, and a bucket of goo. Sparky's in there. I don't know what to do with them. If you send me money and say I want some bumper stickers, I'll send you some. Because even though it's not 2020 anymore, it's still 2020, still fuck you and a bucket of goo. There's no two ways about that. So here we go. Got my smoothie here. Sparky, it's so nice to see you. I don't even want to do the show now because this is so fucking weird. Got my smoothie on here. Okay. Got my cheater notes. I'll put them up there. If I put them on the keyboard, something bad's liable to happen. I don't know what's going to happen there. Okay. Exciting news all the way around. I got my second vaccination on Wednesday, and I haven't been showboating this at all because I didn't want to jinx it, and I can tell you everything that you need to know about getting vaccination 1 and 2, and everything I tell you will most likely not apply to you anyway, because everybody's story is different. I registered through St. Luke's My Chart, and it's like a little lottery thing. You got to set it on notifications. This is like when I go live. Then they send you a ticket, like a golden ticket in the Willy Wonka thing. Then you got to book your appointment right away. So I got my first one. I get the Moderna, and that song gets stuck in my head. Thanks to our son Alvin, I'm gonna fucking kill him for this. Funky cold Moderna is stuck on my head for 4 fucking weeks now because of that. So the first shot was no big deal. I mean, I'm a little tired. That was it. But the Wednesday shot, see, here's the kick in the Amish balls for the I made myself completely nuts because, see, second shot Eve is a fucking nutcase. And it's not like Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. You're just fucking nuts and you can't think about anything else but that shot. And the process is exactly the same as when you got the first one, but the side effects are supposed to get you after the second one. And knowing that bad shit is going to happen to you is almost worse than the bad shit that happens to you, because there's a time delay for a lot of people, and there was with me. Now, I don't want to brag, but just these people that have to give shots all day long, they're young people. I salute them. I cheer them on. Essential workers. Having to give like fucking 300 shots a day to insane people that are nervous wrecks, that think they're going to die from the shot and all. I would not want that fucking job. So I have a shirt from a Broadway musical title of show, and it actually says T-shirt on the shirt. And then I wore that on purpose. And then when they asked me how I was doing, I smart-mouthedly said, well, I'll tell you how I'm doing. I'm so worked up that my wife had to mark my T-shirt, so I knew it was a fucking T-shirt, so that when I put it on, I knew I put on a T-shirt. That's how I'm doing. And I timed this perfectly well. I don't like shots, and that's a fucking stupid thing to say, because anybody who likes shots is probably a heroin addict. So I timed it so that when they harpooned me, and right when she pulled the needle out, I said, I gotta warn you, there's a pretty good chance I'm gonna scream. And then they laughed because the other thing had already been done. And they put the Band-Aid on, and then I walked out, and I could hear him giggling. I said, I'm glad he didn't scream, because if he would have screamed, I would have screamed. Now, the second one, the arm hurt. That's right, Sparky. The arm hurt. I didn't get any arm pain from the first one. She's thinking of coming onto my shoulder now. Now we got some Sparky stories to tell later on. So I got the sore shoulder, and I had a strategy to go to sleep real early so the side effects couldn't get me. That's good on paper, but then I woke up in the morning with a pretty massive headache. I don't get headaches, so I was crying around like, I got a headache, and the arm hurt. See, here's the thing, when your arm hurts, don't underestimate this arm pain, because when I rolled, you can't roll, it hurts that much. It hurts like somebody punched you in the fucking arm. So, headache went away in a couple hours, and I was just fucking tired all day long. Now, you're supposed to drink a lot of water before you get your shot, after you get your shot, the day after, all this and that, happy horse shit, and take your supplements. So, and then you just want to sleep. But see, here's the problem. In my brain, I had posted that I would give you updates as to how I was doing with my side effects all day. I think Thursday that was going to happen. That didn't happen, because what happens is you're tired and you want to sleep and you drink water all the time, then you got to pee. And I'm thinking, this would be a terrible thing. I turned it into a musical, and I can't remember what the musical was, but it was basically a musical. I wanted to give you the report, but all I wanted to do was sleep and drink and pee, sleep and drink and pee. And that's what he did, see? That's what he did. I slept, I drank, and I couldn't sleep because I had to pee. And when I empty this down, I'm going to pour this in, and somehow that entertains some of you. That's the problem. You drink all the water and you got to pee, then you can't sleep. And you try to sleep and you roll over and your fucking arm hurts. But now, I'm good. There's a gray area as to whether, when Sparky flies and lands on my hat, whether I should speak or not, or just embrace the moment, because she hasn't really been part of this show for a while. So I think I'll just stand here with a bird on my head for a while. And new viewers of my show, welcome, because if you're just tuning in for the first time, you're going, this doesn't fucking seem entertaining at all, other than that Amishman has a bird on his head, and what I've heard is lots of times that bird ain't even there. So now it's going to be extremely difficult to tell you what my notes are. So here's the thing. Some of you don't want to get the vaccination. And there's no real polite way to say this. Suck it up and get the fucking shot, for crying out loud. See, even if you have somebody in your life, Sparky, when you go on the brim of my hat, it pushes it down over my eyes. And then it sort of gives me a badass gangster look. But, oh, if you're going to be that way about it, she'll be back. So if somebody in your life loves you and wants you to get the shot, get the fucking shot. That's good enough reason to get the fucking shot, for crying out loud. I got a 2-week ticker going where I'll be able to get back out into the world a teeny tiny little bit. I researched all the stupid shit that I heard on Twitter, and I am blessed with an intelligent wife, intelligent children. I told them every fucking stupid thing that there ever possible could be, and they just kept bursting my bubble. I thought, I read somewhere that if you get the vaccine, the vaccination, you actually get COVID, because that's what vaccinations do. No, they don't have fucking COVID in the thing. That's old school vaccination. You don't get that. And I had another one that said, well, I heard the shot makes you tired, lethargic, and lazy. And of course, the joke writes itself. How would they know whether it's a side effect or if it's just my natural state of being tired, lazy ass? So there's that. Sparky's going fucking nuts over here. She's trying to. There you go. Welcome back. I know the microphone isn't the best choice for you, and you prefer to be on my shoulder, but then I gotta stand like a dumbass and do this, and then you go up with my hat, and it's hard to believe this is a show. Crying out loud. So that fucked me up as far as getting my vaccination comedy material going. I didn't get to do the song. I get the headache. So there's that. But get vaccinated. Just even if you think it'll do nothing, just if it relaxes somebody's nerves that you know, fantastic. And the person who gives you the second shot, they get a fucking bum rap because that's where the side effects come from. And then you blame the shot giver. He says, well, the first person who gave me a shot, they were fucking badass. They knew what they were doing. I didn't feel nothing. But the second one, what a fucking douchebag that was. My fucking arm hurt. It's not their fault. That's about as much research as I've done on it. So now here we go here. Peeking at my notes here. So, okay. We might as well talk about this. Okay, so all of you know that Sparky likes to hide in this corner, as she has been doing many weeks. But what you don't know about Sparky is Sparky has helped catch more mice than any fucking cat, feral or otherwise, that I have ever saved. Her cage is in the corner here, and apparently that's where the mice come in through this little, we call it a Remus closet. That's a whole other story for another night. And if it happens in the day, she doesn't go too nuts, but when the mouse goes down under her cage, she goes like fucking Dracula, and the wings go up, and she goes nuts. And this happened yesterday, and I thanked her, because it was like 7 o'clock, and then I got to go and set all the traps, and then we got to take Sparky over there, and it was a whole to do, but we couldn't find that fucker. So then I thanked her for not doing that 1 o'clock in the morning, because that fucks up my whole night. So wouldn't you know, 1 o'clock in the morning, Dracula comes out again. I heard that cocksucker mouse running around over here. That's fucking it. I'm gonna rip this whole fucking corner out, which I did. I ripped this whole fucking corner out, and I fucking threw out the Sparky shit newspapers and all that shit. It's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. And then Sparky relaxes on the sofa on my wife's foot, and then she thinks this is funny as hell, because she knows I'm doing fucking shit at 2 o'clock in the morning when I should be over there drinking bourbon. So she's laughing her fucking ass off. We set this whole thing up. I'm thinking the mouse going around in her corner is gonna make her fucking crazy, go over the cuckoo's nest. So genius me, I had this idea to take her cage, which is on wheels, and put it right here. Now behind this bookcase, Richter will back me up on this, is my red Twin Peaks Black Lodge curtain. So my solution to relax our cockatiel was basically to put her in the Black Lodge. So with her cage here, and at first I didn't have the curtains closed, it was all just open, and she turned around and she was looking back and she was going, what the actual fuck are you trying to do to me? So then I realized I had to close the red curtains. Now I took pictures of that. It looks like Sparky's in the fucking Black Lodge. So she was eyeballing that, and if you were fans of Twin Peaks, you know that if you go to the Black Lodge, you can't really get comfortable there, and you can't commit to staying, and you also cannot leave. And that happened to Sparky. She was on these fucking ropes in front of her cage, and she got real comfortable on the ropes outside of her cage at the Black Lodge. This is going to be like a fucking 9-hour show, because I don't even think this stuff is funny, but it really fucking happened. So it's 2 o'clock in the morning. She finally got relaxed, but she was on a rope outside of her cage. That's very dangerous. We don't let her run loose at night. She got to go in the cage. Every time I come over to put her in the cage, she decided she was going to hack my knuckles up. So I tried that for about a half hour. Then I realized I was going to have to put her cage to get out of the Black Lodge and put it back in the corner whence it came from. So now it's 2:30 in the morning. She's all worked up. So because I am fucking awesome, I made Sparky a frippin' Eno, relax her nerves, Spotify mix. So if the mouse came, she'd just hear the Frippanino. Now, if any of you potheads out there know who Frippanino are, it's ambient music. It's very relaxing, but I needed it to happen faster than it did because the beginning of their songs are very quiet. I believe Frippanino just kind of stared at each other and said, well, who's going to start? Should you start or should I start? And then that goes on. So, Sparky got the Frippanino. There you go. There's no real point or end to that story. We didn't get that cocksucker mouse yet, so tonight could be another fun night. Mostly everything I try to do works the other way. If I could try to do the opposite thing of what I'm doing, bingo. I'll tell you this. 17 minutes into my show and I haven't even fucking started my show yet. Well, last week, there was a 90-minute show because Clee's sister and Richter came after 1 hour. And I know that happy horse shit isn't going to happen again, I'll tell you that. Alright, so there. Sparky gets credit for catching more mice. Alright, here we go. I've been having a run of really weird shit happen to me. Not really traumatic, but it's like you can't relax. So, I know there's a lot of talk about the unemployment covering gig workers, and I'll tell you this, there's some weird shit there. My category is other. I'm pleased to announce that somebody told me that a decision will be made on my case by the end of April, but it was actually the end of April last year, 2020, so it was my fault because I didn't ask about the fucking year. So that thing, I am a glitch. And then there was another glitch for something else I was doing. If you have a glitch, I'm online, I pay shit online. You pay anything online, if you bank online, it's fun and you can do it with the phone app. But if there's a glitch, if something fucks up, you can't fix dick up with an app. You just can't, but you try. You go into the app, and the app is good for either giving money to someone, buying something, or seeing how much fucking money you have in there. That's all an app is good for. So, lo and behold, you have to call the number on there or get yourself a laptop because and I have a MacBook Pro now, which I didn't want to use to sort out fucking banking glitch or whatever the fuck glitch it was doing. But so when I get my MacBook out and I have a mad face, my wife knows something is wrong because it's not my zooming face, and I get fucking mad and I go to open this fucker up and she says, what's wrong? I said, why do you ask? She says, because you never make that mad face when you zoom. Well, occasionally you do, but for the most part. So then you log in because you can do more shit on the MacBook, and then you got to do the CAPTCHA, and then you got to do the two-factor authentication, and then it's the same fucking shit in there, and it says if this is still fucked up, fuck you in a bucket of goo, then call the number. This is a horrible fate because the days of calling someone and having a human being pick up the phone and help you are fucking gone, gone, gone. First, you can guarantee that you'll be on hold for an hour. And then they do all these fake, and it rings, and then it's a fake pickup. And then what picks up is a recorded message. And it fucking gets you every fucking time. You're an hour on hold, you're, and then you wave everyone, quiet, they're picking it up, and then you get a recorded message, and that little song plays, boom, 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 and then you get all kind of messages about shit you already fucking know. You can access your account 24 hours a day online at www. You probably should have stayed on hold on the phone because now you lost your fucking spot, motherfucker. So that goes on, and then you get all these other messages telling you all these wonderful things they have done for you that are fucked up. And then, finally, then you get through and someone else picks up the phone and it's not a person, it's a fucking robot. It's an automated fucking voice. And now, and if they put you through this happy horse shit, they say, are you calling about a number that is, are you calling about the account that is associated with this phone number? Press or say 1. If you are calling about a different account not associated with this phone number, press or say 2. And then you get beep, and they say, no, we need to verify your identity. So a fucking robot that I have to prove that I am not when I log in online. I have to do CAPTCHA and match up trees and fucking sidewalks to prove that I am not a fucking robot. I have to prove to a fucking robot on the phone that I'm who I say I am. But that fucking robot, that cocksucker, he can say whatever the fuck he wants. That he's on there, and I gotta prove all this fucking happy horse shit, and I gotta enter in all these fucking numbers. And then they say, would you like to make a payment? Press or say 1. Would you like to get an account balance? Press or say 2. If it's something else, press the pound button or say something else. There's no fucking pound key. There's no pound key. There's a fucking hashtag on there that it's something else. It's something else. And I fucking yell something else. And then you get a second robot. And then they say, please describe what the fucking problem is. And if you go nuts, then you got to go back to the fucking beginning. So this goes on all fucking day long. Then you eventually get put back on hold for a person, and then they tell you if you're tired of waiting, you can log in 24 hours a day, or you can push this button and a technician will call you back. Fuck that, don't do that. They never fucking call you back, or I don't know how to answer my phone. So that goes on. 2 hours later, you get another message. You think it's a person, and it says, our normal customer service business hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Please call back during our regular business hours. And that goes on a whole fucking day. And then you got to go through that happy horse shit the next fucking day. And I went fucking through that the next fucking day. All to be told there's a glitch in the system and I have to do nothing. Fuck you and a bucket of goo in that glitch. And then I had to go through that for our daughter for some fucking bullshit. I said, I got it. I'm good at this glitch shit. I'll just fucking do it. I had set up a little fort over there. And so my glitches are still glitching. There you go. And I had to prove to a robot that I'm really me. You didn't have to fucking prove dick. Let's see here. Oh, I like to recap some stuff. If you haven't been listening to me on the Keith Show Thursdays on the radio, what's your fucking problem? We have so much fun, but again, the afternoon format, I gotta keep things kind of tight. That's right, as Sparky can be heard beeping on many of those episodes because she's more awake in the day. So even when I try to trim things down to a minute, 2 minutes is about the best I can get, and Moyer, he can whack them right in half there, but that's no big deal there. He's an edit master. So, but what I talked about this past week is 2 different things. I will try to explain to you how my brain works. First of all, I lost a pen that I was going to use as an example. Where's my pen? Just wait here. Sparky, you entertain him, because this pen is very important to the story, and I hope that I didn't fucking lose it again, alright? Let's see, here there it is. Alright. Now, one thing you got to know about me is that I love really good pens. I use good pens to write comedy with. I don't use them for glitches or bill pay or any of that happy horse shit. And that's all they are good for. But I lose them and I go fucking batshit crazy. So the way my brain works is I have what I call an idea hallway. In this hallway are closets, and there's trolls sitting in the closets, and trolls all have empty yard signs, blank yard signs, and buckets of Sharpies, and when they believe they have an idea that can help me, they write the message on the sign, run out into the hallway, and wave the sign around and try to get my attention. Now, I'm not making this up. The problem is I don't read all the signs. It's whichever one catches my attention. Now, stay with me here. This is a good one. A pill was dropped on the floor in the other room. Now, I started to look for it, and immediately the signs were coming out, and the troll told me to look under the sock box, which was 15 feet away from where the pill had fallen. But it was too late. I read the sign. I'm in too deep. I'm looking under the sock box because the fucking troll with the sign told me. And what was under the sock box? Was it the pill that was dropped? No, it was not. It was this pen that had gone missing since November when I went to do comedy in Harrisburg. This pen, which I love, has been gone however fucking many months that is since November. At that moment in time, I knew I had to trust trolls and fuck the pill. The pill became unimportant. I could get another pill. This pen, I found it because of the trolls in my idea hallway. Don't question your trolls. Now, many years ago, I was out with my wife in a restaurant and some friends, and I didn't have my sexy hat on, and across the restaurant were some fans, and they're going, "Raven!" I, for reasons I couldn't tell you, had a quarter in my hand, and I tried to wave in a humorous fashion to acknowledge that I didn't have my fucking hat on. It was a little weird. So when I did that wave, I forgot the quarter was in my hand, and the quarter fell out of my hand and laid directly on top of my head in a dark restaurant. Them fuckers over there couldn't see it. And the troll in my idea hallway came out with a sign and said, "Just pretend you're a magician." And I did it. And I looked at the fans over there, and I reached, put my hand out like this, and then I put it up here, and then I pulled the quarter right off the top of my head, and I held it like this, and I did a little bow, and I got a thunderous round of applause for pretending that I'm a magician. So the trolls in my idea hallway shall not be questioned. I don't recommend this system to other people, and it's probably something I should discuss with my therapist at one point or another. But there you go. Trolls in the idea hallway. Here we go. Trending this week is my amazing wife. Let me tell you about this woman here. So, okay, she spends a lot of time, not a lot of time, appropriate amount, trying to save us money, unlike me, the dumbass. She loads up our apps with coupons. So the Rite Aid app had a glitch, as it were, and they knew about it. And so her Rite Aid customer care card, or whatever the fuck it is, we've had it. She's had it for, at least for fucking 10 years. And when you set all that shit up, you really never think you're going to have to get in there with security questions and all that happy horse shit. But she called up and they said you had to go in there, and then she had to answer security questions from 10 fucking 15 years ago. And one of them was, what's your favorite TV show? And she didn't panic, but she was a little disgusted. She said, "Oh man, they want to know what my favorite TV show was for like from 15 years ago." And I'm thinking, I'm over here and I got fucking shot 2 withdrawals and all that shit. I'll just say nothing. She guessed. She sat here out loud. She said, "I wonder what kind of TV shows I liked a lot way back then." She guessed Celebrity Ghost Stories, and it was fucking right. How about that? Glitch solved right there. Unfucking believable. My wife also is connected to what is trending on Twitter this week. Big fan, especially my wife, big fan of aliens, UFOs, all them shows. Trending on Twitter this week was the Pentagon acknowledges that video and a story from a pilot involving a UFO has been confirmed as a UFO. And Twitter's gone losing their fucking minds. Nobody wants to find aliens more than my wife and I. Trust me on that. My wife very calmly said it was identified as a UFO, which is an unidentified flying object, which means they don't know what the fuck it is. They confirmed, the Pentagon confirmed that there was something flying and they don't know what the fuck it is. They didn't say it was an alien. They didn't say it was a fucking spaceship. They just said, yeah, something was flying and we don't know what the fuck it is. That could be fucking two hillbillies out there in the woods just looking up going, what the fuck is that? I don't know. Hot dang, we got another one. Unidentified flying object. Motherfucker, that's fantastic. Sparky's getting all worked up here. Let me drink some water. And I don't know why this is funny. It won't be that funny. If I fuck it up, I'm going to pour some water right in there. I think it's funny because it makes some people pee. Probably me. Spark, you want a drink? Oh yeah. You're getting a fucking live stream worth tonight. Sparky flew in. She's having a drink of water. You didn't even get a vaccination. You were drinking water. Are we good? That's fantastic. Alright, now. 30 degree of accuracy. It's hard to say what the fuck I was talking about. Okay. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. This. Okay, it's 8:33. My show is technically more than half over, but I didn't even start to talk about something that I have been obsessed with this week, and I had posted it on my fan page, and apparently it's one of the most popular things I have ever posted. Our daughter, we text each other, you know, we need something to watch, anything good to watch, whatever. So she suggested that we watch Class Action Park documentary based on Action Park, defunct in New Jersey, and I posted that on my fan page and everybody lost their fucking minds. The reason it is called Class Action Park is that it is a water park that was really kind of a death park is what it was. Some asshole that got kicked off of Wall Street said, fuck you guys, I'll just go to New Jersey and I will build an amusement park, a water park, and I'll make a lot of money. So what this peckerhead decided to do was not hire any professionals, no engineers, just him and his nitwit buddies would cartoon ride ideas on napkins, and then they fucking build them like a hillbilly show you would see on the cable TV. And they all had this kind of Tony Soprano thug thing going on. A lot of people got killed at this park. A lot of people got injured. And apparently a lot of my fans went to this park and had similar injuries to report. And I don't know if I could possibly have more fans that they might have been killed at this park. I don't have a fucking clue. You have to watch this show. It is the most amazing thing that there ever was. I'm going to peek down here because I don't want to fuck up the names of the rides. Okay, so amusement parks also, insurance is really expensive because there's liability. This park was so dangerous, this fucker could not get insurance. But since he was booted off of Wall Street, he was very skilled at unscrupulous financial matters. So he created his own fake insurance company, and then he just fucking ran that through. So the ride, the guy's name was Mulvihill. How about that? That's a great name right there. Mulvihill had these idiots that built these rides that didn't know what they were doing, and they're on the fucking documentary. And the one peckerhead says, yeah, we made a lot of rides. Mostly the rides were built by unskilled idiots with no experience, such as myself. He fucking said that in the documentary. And the one that got everybody was, I think it's called the Alpine, oh no, the Cannonball Loop. That's what it was, the Cannonball Loop. You know how a roller coaster goes around in a circle? these nitwits had an idea that they could do that as a water slide. And what they used was PVC plumbing pipe, which is affected by heat. And so the heat would expand, and then weird shit would happen, and people were going through this death loop, and they were coming out all fucking bloody and ripped up, and they got concussions, and finally people were just getting hacked and ripped, and why the fuck are they getting ripped up in this thing? So they took the loop apart, or they went into the loop, and what was in the loop that was ripping up their skin was teeth that had been knocked out and stuck in the fucking loop. So these people were getting eaten by teeth that were stuck in the fucking loop. So that went on, and nobody could shut the park down. What they did was they had pot-smoking kids, 14-year-old kids, all drugged up. They had a marijuana sex shed with no air conditioning in it that smelled like bat shit balls. So the kids were happy to fucking work this thing. Injury after injury. The guy who created the park, he believed that there were too many rules in life, and he believed kids should be free to have all the fun they wanted. And they had this, somehow it was like a Tony Soprano thug park. And I think people in the documentary were going, it's like a Jersey thing. This park isn't for pussies. And then somebody came in to interview the kid that worked there, and he said, every so often, somebody will come in to ask us questions, like the newspaper or the cops, mostly after a death, or if somebody like lost an arm. And he says, who's in charge? Nobody's in fucking charge. That's the point. This is fun park. Motherfucker, this thing will drive you fucking crazy. Broken arms, concussions, all kinds of weird shit. They had like a 80-foot Tarzan rope into, not a pool, like fucking a water park, into a cold trout creek. And people would be near fucking snakes and trout and rocks and fucking smash their heads and shit. And then they'd laugh that somehow people would go, this is really fun. And the New Jersey thugs kind of thought anybody who couldn't survive this park was like a pussy, you know. And so the fucking thing was driving me nuts. The injury after fucking injury, you get to PV, a ride made out of plumbing pipe. My foot made a bucket of goo. So now, they had the marijuana shed. They had a wave pool with lifeguards that couldn't swim, and the wave pool was way too deep. You've ever been to a wave pool? They usually fucking cut off right about there, and that's it. This wave pool went in 6-7 feet over anybody's head, and people thought dying and drowning was like part of the park experience. And I'm not making any of this shit up. Check it out, HBO Go. The water had no filter. So in this water, the lifeguards couldn't see that people were drowning, because in the water was blood, shit, dirt, all kinds of fucking horrible shit in this fucking death pool. Somebody had died in there, and people went there for fun. And again, I posted on my page, and a lot of the people that went there for fun are you fuckers. Some guy put on there, I got my first concussion there, and then somebody else posted, I always wanted to go there, but I didn't get to go. Alexa, stop. See how mean I was? But I'm not even anywhere fucking near done. I got all this kind of shit going on here. So I'm definitely using my cheater notes here. So you got the wave pool that's too deep, and there was no filter in the water. You got lifeguards who were not trained. One of the training things for the lifeguards was they actually tied them to a board with rocks and threw them in the water and see if they could live. And then if you could live, okay, you can be a lifeguard. I'm not making this shit up. So now, the Tarzan swing, that was another one. You could smash your head on rocks in the Tarzan swing. Water was deep, the drop was big. There were no age or height requirements. People in the documentary who went to this park sat there and they laughed about it. They said, I'll tell you, I would never let my kid go to a park like this. Whoever lets their kid go to this park, that's a bad parent. But hey, forget about it. We had a lot of fun. Not all of us died. Okay, that's the way it goes. The guy who built this park believed kids should be allowed to push the boundaries of fun till they almost got injured or would die, and that would weed out the fleas. And that's what the fucking park was. Now, the water park, the walkways were black asphalt. Did you ever walk across a hot fucking parking lot without a shoe on? It burns your fucking feet. That was all over the fucking park. So while people were getting concussions, drowning in fucking shit blood water, getting blood ripped up from teeth in the fucking PVC pipe, they're running around going, ouch, 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 oh motherfucker, ouch, 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 ouch. And I watch this as a good time because I'm thinking, man, I got a headache and I got a sore arm from a fucking vaccination. This isn't bad at all. It's hell a lot better than going to fucking Action Park. So now they had another one here. Colorado River. It's one of those tubes with like 5 or 6 people who go in it, and they try to make it seem like the rapids. And this guy again said, a lot of these people never get to go to the Colorado Rapids. So he had this thing designed that'd be a class 4 rapids. That's fucking lethal. That's fucking military training there. And people who went to this park said if you went on a ride and you knew the ride, like you knew how to lean and where to go, you had a pretty good chance of making it. But if you didn't, you'd go fucking sailing right off the cliff. And a lot of them fucking did. They had another ride. It was called Man in a Ball on a rail. And again, they made a track was PVC, which expanded when the heat happened, and then the people would go like a big hamster ball, right? You go in a big giant fucking human hamster ball and roll down the PVC roller coaster track that got too wide when it got hot, and it would fly off the tracks and roll across a fucking highway onto part 2 of the park, which was actual racing motor cars right next to the beer garden, and you could drive all fucking drunk and drive right off the course. There was nothing to hold these people onto the course. Some of them drove right on the fucking highway. They just I'm not making any of this shit up. I'm gonna watch this fucking thing tonight again. This is the most craziest thing that there ever was. The survivors, and I call them survivors, they were proud of it. I say, hey, we know it was stupid. We know the park's not for everybody, but hey, we had a lot of fun, so fuck you. How about that? Well, there's 6 dead people and about 4,000 broken necks and concussion people who would tend to disagree with you. Now, there's more shit on here yet. Somehow they couldn't shut them down. I don't know what the loopholes were. Let's see. You got to. They had. You understand amusement parks, right? The rides are mostly set up where you just sit in them and then they fucking go. There's no real skill involved. They had full speed motorboats with no fucking rules. And people who didn't know anything about driving a boat, sailing a boat. See, I'm one of those because you don't drive a boat, you sail a boat. And they flipped over a lot because when you go a certain speed and you try to turn, if you're going too fast, the boat would flip, and a lot of them flipped. And the people in charge of running these rides, I guess you would call them, you definitely don't want to flip over. That's bad. It's not so much the accident of the boat flipping over, it's just the water ain't safe in there. There's snakes in there, rocks, there's oil, and there's shit in that water too. And somebody got electrocuted in that water because the fans on the boats weren't fucking grounded. And some of you fuckers posted on my page how much fun you had at that park, and you fucking miss it. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with people. So now we got that. And I don't know if I covered this or not because this thing makes me nuts. People who went to school in this neighborhood could tell what rides people went on by the scrapes and cuts and fucking bangs and bruises on their body. Oh, you were on the Alpine slide. How about that? I'm losing my fucking mind. So now I posted this, and our son Alva, my computer genius, my Mensa wizard, the coolest dad in the world. They have ducks. He's so chill, laid back. He said, yeah, I went to that park. So here the story is that my wife was divorced, and that kind of explains why you would divorce someone if the series was real. So ladies, if you're divorced and you send your kids off with the ex, you always wonder, should you worry? Yes, you should fucking worry, because her ex let them go to fucking Action Park. Somehow he fucking survived this thing. I don't have a fucking clue, but yes, your fears are real, and it's usually the ex-husband who okays such things. So that's enough for Action Park. Check it out. Post your stories, because I know some of you peckerheads are holding back. Or if you can't use your arms anymore, get someone to type it up for you. So I've been going through all kinds of fun shows here. It's not ready yet, but I am totally hooked on Beyond Belief, fact or fiction. It's the most amazing thing. They present like 5 stories, and then you got to say if it really happened or if they made it up. I could hit an episode where I nail fucking 5 of them in a row, and the next one fucks me in a bucket of goo. But that comedy's not ready to go yet. So I burned through that, I binge watched through that, and that moves me on to Unsolved Mysteries, which is a lot of fun, unless you're a dumbass like me. Then when you get to the end, the thing isn't solved, and you don't really realize, well, the name of the show is Unsolved Mysteries, that's why it's not solved, you stupid fuck. And I'm here to tell you this: if someone in your house is afraid to watch Unsolved Mysteries, they might be worried that they are featured on a fucking episode, and you will call and turn them in and collect the money. I have one neighbor that I don't like that much, and I'm watching and looking for him, and if he's in there, I'm calling that fucking number. I don't care if those shows are 20 fucking years old. So Unsolved Mysteries, fucking boom roasted. Again, I'm revisiting Twilight Zone here. I notice shit. Might take me like 80 fucking times of watching something, but then I notice shit. Slang from the 80s doesn't really translate to today. And then I'm silly and immature, and I understand that's how they spoke then, but the trolls in my idea hallway are pissing themselves and coming out with signs. And there's one guy says, I think it was in a Beyond Belief, he came running into a shop and he said, I thought Johnson and Balls were yanking me, but they weren't. Now, I'll repeat that. I thought Johnson and Balls were yanking me, but they weren't. That meant, in context, that he thought they were dicking with him, but they weren't. But yanking me clearly means jerking off. So the trolls in my idea hole were running out and going, losing their fucking minds. I thought Johnson and Balls were jerking me off, but I turned down and I looked, and it wasn't their hand at all. Turns out it was my hand down there jerking me off. So, again, my stories don't really have a point or an end to them, and the trolls in my idea hallway don't really bother themselves with such mundane details. So there's that. Sparky, I can't believe you're in the house tonight. That is so badass. Show is running over time. I'm definitely going to have to figure out what the fuck happened on my Patreon. I'm seeing a nice $50 donation in there. That's got to be Eric P. I know, Eric P., I know you're not on Patreon, but man, that's a whole fucking year of Patreon you could be on there. But I appreciate it. Again, best way to donate to the show, to me, is PayPal. Anyway, really. I mean, hell, you could just drive by and throw a fucking bag of money on the porch. That works too. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Oh, I need to revisit this. I call it's a classic bit, which makes me a real fucking douchebag that I myself would say that I have a classic bit, but the worst spring we ever had is happening again. It's fucking spring. and it's fucking 40 degrees and it gets fucking cold at night. And for a while it was going up to 65, 70 and then dropping. Now it's just like, fuck it. We'll just stay cold. How about that? We'll just fucking stay cold. So, comedy that comes back to haunt me, it's sort of my fault. But the point of this rant is that a lot of people's favorite season is spring. And I've always told them, you need to pick a better fucking season because spring doesn't exist. Spring is a fucking illusion created by Hallmark to sell pastel colored shit. If you're lucky, there's only one good fucking spring day and it never happens in the spring. You walk around in the fall, boy, it feels like spring. Thanks a fucking lot. There that went. Spring for this whole fucking year. You motherfuckers, how about that? So, worst spring we ever had. Comedy comes back to haunt. I'm babbling away here. Again, this is going back a couple weeks. My wife had a lovely birthday. Her daughter got her a tree. I planted a tree and a bush, and the trolls in my idea hallway are running signs and all this and that shit. I'm with my farming expertise background, I suck at farming. That's how I wound up streaming live in my living room. So, sorry, Sparky, I didn't do that. She did it to herself. She's real penny. She's pin feathers, and she pulls them out, and then she screams, and then my wife can't see it, and it seems like I'm being a dick, but she'll have to look at this video here. So my wife loves doing stuff in the garden, planting stuff, growing stuff, all this stuff. So years ago, we had some you need good dirt to grow shit, you really do. So me, like a dumbass, I went to one of these wherever you go to buy dirt, and I said, the guy was a real fucking cocksucker, first of all. I walked in there and I said, I need to get some new dirt for my wife's tomato plants because our dirt is really old. And he goes, all dirt is old. Okay, if you're going to fuck with me right now, I'll build a barn around you with no fucking doors. That's a fucking cocksucker thing to say. You know damn well what I meant. That the fucking soil here is fucking bad, motherfuckers. So that's what you're up against with me. This is such a weird day. Let's see here. Going through my notes. Oh, I didn't even look at this shit yet. These are I've been going through my notes from last year when all this shit started. How about that? So, also, Clee's sister, I didn't get a chance to go through the stories that your brother wrote that were dropped on my doorstep. Because I'm a pussy, and when I have to get a second vaccination shot, I already started crying and doing nothing the day before I got the shot, then the day of the shot, then the day after. So I'm starting to get back into the groove here a teeny little bit. So here are my notes for that. Last year, this weekend, I did I came out, cold start, we call it in show business, a Phantom of the Opera mask. The music wasn't playing because I don't have the copyright for it. Phantom of the Outhouse, really fucking stupid, but it's a special memory of the thing also. And this reminds me to whore myself also right now. The Steel Stack show, which I was very happy with by my own standards, looks good. Audience is not mic'd up. I dropped the whole entire show on Patreon for my unshunned, but I'm a dick. It starts at the $10 level. And I'm telling you what I would do if I were you and I want to see me that bad. I would subscribe for $10, see the show, and then fucking cancel it. Because I'm that kind of a dick. And I would encourage you to be that kind of a dick as well. Because if I do it, that gives you permission also. The whole show will come out eventually for everyone, but the whole point of Patreon is to be like, I have this big fucking amazing meal right here, but I'm only going to serve it to a few people. Ha 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 ha. So that's kind of assholish. Oh, I know, before I go back to these notes here, I forgot something else trending on Twitter. Once again, I really love this. That's why my show has become longer than they need to be. I miss performing live, but I'll tell you this. I was telling Clee's sister, if I can make a living doing this, I'd only pick like 5 or 6 ass-kicking shows to do live every year, like Steel Stacks and Sellersville Theater and a gaggle of other comedy clubs. And this would be fucking it. But financially, this hasn't really been the action park that I hoped it would be. So, but trending on Twitter is right now Jeopardy is trying to find a replacement Alex Trebek. Now again, this is connected in my brain, so I'm going to reach over here, get this picture. It's probably going to reflect, you won't be able to see it. I'm trying to make it so you can see it. I don't know if you can see it there. That is, if I hold it there on a weird angle, that is my wife's mother, who I don't know what year she passed on. There's Sparky chewing on her glasses. What is significant about this is, at this time in my mother-in-law's life, she was in pain and she was having a rough time of things, and she's laughing in this picture because Sparky is that fucking amazing. Sparky chewed on her glasses while she didn't feel good and made her fucking laugh. That's kind of amazing right there. But the point of this story is that when we were such good friends, I got along so good with my wife's mother, amazing. She watched Jeopardy, and the hardest fucking questions would come on. And she did it on purpose to dick with me. She'd go, "Oh, you know that one." And I didn't even fucking know any of them at all. But she said it with such confidence, like she knew that I knew, but I was fucking holding out. Again, the trolls in my idea hallway connect these dots because they are looking for a new Alex Trebek, and they're running through the gamut of, like every week, they're trying somebody new. Dr. Phil. Fuck you in a bucket of goo. Everybody hated him. Fucking terrible choice. Aaron Rodgers was on. Ex-Green Bay Packers quarterback for a week, and everybody fucking loved him. They just fucking loved him out of nowhere. An ex-football quarterback tore it the fuck up. I didn't even see it. Moyer from the radio, he loved him. He said he's fantastic. He should get the fucking job. But they're not quite sure what they're going to do yet. Sparky's flying over there because she knows the story I'm going to tell. Because this week coming up is the most hated sports announcer in the history. Even the sports people hate him. Fucking Joe Buck, the one when you could tell when Joe Buck's narrating anything on fucking TV. Twitter is all fucking filled with hate. What a fucking asshole! What a douchebag! What a fucking dickhead! There's no way they're gonna love him hosting Jeopardy if they already hate him doing a sports job that he's fucking trained for. But again, there is a point to this story. Now, Alvin, grown-up kid, Mensa genius, survivor of Action Park, got married years ago to a lovely woman, and they did a cliche thing. They got married in Vegas, and it was kind of badass. They got married in a Renaissance fair setting. We had, back when I ate meat, we ate chicken, and we watched fucking jousting and all this shit. So there was a Renaissance fair in this neighborhood, and I was tasked with going to shop for everybody's Renaissance outfits. Mine's badass because I went and I picked it, and everybody else looked like a little bit embarrassed, all right? So that's what happened there. So anyway, we got on this flight, and our daughter was, guess how old was our daughter when we went to Vegas? She was little, is the point. Okay, so we're on the flight to Vegas. We're on the red eye to Vegas. It's my wife, myself, our daughter, and she was little. And everybody who flies to Vegas was a geezer that was going to gamble. So now we stopped in St. Louis, around 7 years old. My wife was thinking Lizzie was around 7. So we stopped in St. Louis to pick up some folks, and we almost missed the connecting flight because my wife dropped a bracelet in the other flight, and I ran back like a motherfucker and I got it, but we made it, but that's another story for another time. So now they played this gambling game on the flight. It's all geezers, my wife and I, they're all going to gamble. We're going for a wedding. You can write your seat number on $1 and throw it in a bag, and then they'll pull out a winner, and whoever's name they draw starts their Vegas trip with like $200 in cash that was gambled on the flight. So the condition was, and the flight attendant, I don't know what they call them anymore, she was running up and down the aisle announcing this contest, this little game was going to happen, but she said there's a condition that you're going to have to tip my child $20. And I was so excited because I knew our daughter was the my child that she was talking about. There was nobody under fucking 50 on that flight besides my wife and I and our daughter. I mean, this is going to be amazing. You're going to get $20. That's what's going to happen here. So they grab Lizzie, and she's running up and down the aisles, and she's collecting everybody's dollar, and then they pull out the winner, and the people around me were going, oh, that's just great. Someone from first class wins, like they really fucking need the money. That's just so, they were really fucking mad. And our daughter came skipping out of first class, happier that you've seen, that you could see a kid on the flight, and she was holding a fucking bag of money. So what happened was, Joe Buck's father Buck, I don't remember his name, he was the long-term sports announcer for the St. Louis Cardinals, Hall of Fame sports announcer. He won, and so when they brought him the money, he just gave it back to her. He said, take that $1, put it in the bag. He said, are there any other kids on the flight? He said, nope. And she came fucking skipping back, and she had $200 in gambling money that was not to be fucking gambled with. So before you say them cocksuckers up in first class don't fucking deserve it, Joe Buck's a fucking douchebag, but his father was badass. And I sent a note up to him and one of my own VHS tapes, because I am a fucking douchebag, and I don't know why I had one, but I had one, and I put a little note there, and I didn't even want to go bother him because this was a cool thing. And I gave it to this flight attendant lady, and I said, would you take this up to the man? Because she said, do you know who gifted your daughter this? The St. Louis retired announcer, Father Buck. And I'm like, that's amazing. So I put on the note, you don't know who you gave that money to. You gave that money to, I believe, I'm going to see if I get it right here, great-great-granddaughter of Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame announcer Halsey Hall is relatives to my wife. So that's fucking weird shit going on there. And I will leave you with this fun note. The phrase, holy cow, ripped off by the Yankee announcer, was coined by Halsey Hall in Minnesota. Google Halsey Hall, watch for clips on YouTube. He was fucking completely ridiculous. He could be streaming live in the living room right here with me. Hey, he was a prankster. He had a big coat on and a cigar, and he lit his fucking coat on fire, and his coat was burning. He didn't even fucking know it. He did beer commercials, and he was laying down badass shit. That's a fun story for me, and if you didn't think it was fun, well, it's probably because your daughter didn't get the bag of money from the Hall of Famer guy. How about that? I'm going to wrap this up. I love yous. I didn't get to things that I did last year this week, so now I have 2 weeks to work with then. Sparky's in the house. Thanks for tuning in. Check out Patreon. Send me money. If you want some of these bumper stickers, I also have coasters left. I got all this swag swag, is that it? Just like used right here on the show. So here we go, and I will do the thing where I click stream is ending soon. Oh, wait, here we go. Sparky, you just tore it up tonight. Stream is ending. There it is. Let's see if I can. Oh no, I can't type on there. Sparky, I think they can still hear me. I can't see. I should have put my Harry Potter glasses on. Here we go. I'm also streaming on my other fan page on Facebook, and I pretended like I didn't know, but I really know. They don't know what the fuck's going on over. But it's a shitty view. They're behind the light ring. So here we go.